more Showdown replays. I bet you didn't see that one coming. I got my replays from my the Smogon RU Open, which is like a huge tournament for Smogon where like, all the good players play, and it's like a best of 3 just with RU only. There was one for UU, is RU, NU I think, and Obers. And I forgot to join the UU one, so I just did the RU one just to see how good these Smogon elites play. And yeah, so I didn't have any team, so I was scrounging through our pace bin and came across 3 RU teams that Frieslander posted for me. But yeah, let's just get into it, I guess. This was the tour started like before the Heracross suspect started, so Heracross was allowed. So and my team just if Miss Magius dies, he can just spam close combat if he's scarfed. That sucks. Lead Gigalith, he leads Registeel. We both just exchange rocks here and like cool. I think I double out into Komodo. I didn't know what Registeel's usually do because I don't play RU, but this guy decides he wants to be that guy, and he's Thunder Wave. And I'm like, well, he's not gonna stay in fearing Focus Blast or whatever other fighting move this thing gets. But I'm Specs with Clanging Scales, and I actually do go for that, and it does 45 to Mantine. I'm like, that guy is extremely Spadef. But he's faster than me, so he can just roost off this damage as I just go for another one, try to like crit or something, as he's just going for full paralysis at this point. I think I double out into something here. Miss Magius, okay, on his roost again. I'm like, all right, let's go for the taunt just so he can't get rid of these rocks. So I do that as he goes out into Shaman, which I guess is Miss Magius answer, I guess. Maybe he thought I was gonna Thunderbolt, I guess. On this set, I'm Z Shadow Ball with Mystical Fire, Taunt, and Nasty Plot. And Mystical Fire is actually cool because it has a 100% chance to drop your special attack. He goes for Seed Flare, indicating he's scarfed, as Miss Magius usually naturally outspeeds. As I go for the Natural Fire, crit him, and get a special attack drop. It's cool on my part. I get a free switch into my Como at this point because I know he's locked in the Seed Flare and it's not going to do anything with that Spadef drop. I didn't expect him to go what's it called, Registeel, because that's like his only, like if he was expecting a fighting move, it was either going to be this or Dragalgy, but I just thought Clanging Scales was my best play because, I mean, if he went Registeel, I had switch-ins. I guess I could have went into my Shaman on the Thunder Wave, but go for another Clanging Scales as, again, he could just roost off his damage. As I go back into Miss Magius, he goes for the roost, maybe predicting him to double or something. Oh, no, I got into my Zarok. I don't even know what else doing. He goes for the Skull. Thank God he doesn't burn. I go for a Swords Dance on his roost and go for a Sucker Punch on his Skull, and it almost takes him out, but he's low enough where he can't switch in on Rock. So I just go out into my Hitmonlee to pressure him, just go for a knockoff to get my kill. As he goes out into Heracross, that's not a Heracross, that's Registeel, as he probably knew it was scarfed. If I went for, well, why? That was kind of a weird play, because if I wasn't scarfed, then I could have just went for a high jump kick on this because it didn't have protect. Go out in the Komo as he reveals the counter, so he probably thought he'd live a high jump kick or something like that if he wasn't scarfed. Thankfully, I immaculately dodged that as I go for the free Focus Blast as he reveals Iron Head. So he's Thunder Wave Iron Head, which, I mean, I guess it can be a set, but I usually see Seismic Toss because Seismic Toss usually does more damage than Iron Head. As I thankfully get a Focus Blast off as he has the Choppel, so He lives, and he flinches on the turn I would have probably killed him, so this Registeel should be gone. But I just go into Hitmonlee, kill him with the high jump kick, and it really doesn't matter. But he goes on the Heracross, and I'm like, alright, if this is... I thought it was Scarf for the longest time, but seeing how his Shaman was Scarf, he probably isn't, because usually running double Scarf isn't the best idea, so he more than likely was Flame Orb, as he is the Flame Orb. As I tried to get damage on this, because I could Revenge Kill with Shaman with Psychic, or Mismagius with Shadow Ball, but I miss again, so there's 2 hacks against me in this game. As he knocks me out, as I go in the Shaman, I'm like, he has no Psychic resist, so this goes down. Crit didn't matter, I was Life Orbed. As he goes out in the Dragalge, as I don't want this going down to a Sludge Wave, but he just goes straight for the Draco Meteor. As I do live, thankfully, as I think I go for a Protect to just stall him out, but he goes out into Gigalith. Because my Protect failed, I can just go for it again as his Shaman goes down. So still pretty close, 2-2, but so Scarf is gone. He goes out in the Flygon. If this is Dragon Dance, it's probably just game over. I land my Toxic, thankfully. Wasn't really much of a 50-50, because if I went for Protect and he went for a Dragon Dance, he won. If I attacked and he went for a Dragon Dance, he still won, but I was just kind of in the back at this point. He pulls out the Z, so even if I did Protect, there was probably a chance that would have killed. And he can just click Outrage at this point. So that is game 1 right there. Unfortunately, I'm in the back, so I gotta win this next one if I want to get past my cursed round 2, or not round 2. Like I just can't get past round 1 in any of these tours. It's, if you watch my Rennie tour video, I lost round 1 on that. So here's round 2. It's the other RU team I had. It's got Z, Brave Bird on Honchkrow, Spikes, Glalie, Standard, Donphan, and Special. Sharpedo was actually really decent against his team. But I just lead off with my Rocker as he leads off with his Mesprit. I'm like, alright, let's just exchange rocks. Just kidding. He pulls out the Ice Beam. I'm like, just kidding again. I pull out the knockoff as he doesn't lose an item, so he's Z something. I don't know. He doesn't reveal it, I don't think. So he just takes me out with another Ice Beam. I try to get up my rocks just in case he wanted to get up his. I go out in Honchkrow, and then like predicting him to switch out. I go for Pursuit. He doesn't. I go for Pursuit. He lives, and I'm like, oh, well, I'm just gonna Sucker Punch. So I knock him out. He goes out a Heracross. I'm like, okay, is this one Scarf? Because if this one is Scarf, he just wins. But he is, again, the Flame Orb, and he goes for Close Combat. I drop. I mean, I don't have a Close Combat switching on this team, so I go into my... This one's Scarf Shaman, I think. As I go for Tin Power Fire, trying to catch, like, Doublade or something, but it just goes Flygon. U-turns out, so I think the Flygon is Scarf this time. Now set up a Spike as his Doublade just goes for Swords Dance. Sneaks, kills me. I go Sharpedo because that's literally all I can do. I try to go for a Dark Pulse Flinch crit. He lives on 1. I don't. It was probably a bad roll on my part. He kills me with Shadow Claw. Goes for a Sneak as I just kill him with Psychic, I think. Yep. And again, his Psychic resists are non-existent again, but of course he just has to finish me off with a Flygon as he crits the... Not this one. I do get the DD off, but he does break through and beats me, so... Good game to my opponent. Someday I'll get better at this game. But in the meantime, I'll just be uploading losses left and right. But yeah, that'll do it for that video. I think I'm playing Rennie for the Z Tours next, so... And I have never beaten Randy, so oh, that's not gonna go good. But yeah, that'll do it. Yeah.